Hey guys, it's Danny. Today we have an update on one of the Orchid Haul Watches that we started last year. We did 4 hauls last year. Those were my final orchid hauls, as it just so happens. And now it's time to look at all of the orchids that I purchased and see how they're doing over 1 year later, I think. Some of them have bloomed, some of them not. Let's just see how healthy they are. And if you missed the original video, I think this is the Look Orchid Haul. This is season 2. I will link you to it down below, of course, with the videos related to the haul. I think this is episode 3. This is update 3. So before we start, don't forget to give this video a like if you end up enjoying it, and why not subscribe? I post multiple times a week and it's completely free. But if you're feeling a little extra and you wish to further support the channel, do consider becoming a member and getting access to some behind the scenes and different videos and different photos. You can also use the affiliate links that I always have in the description of my videos. You can also check out the merch. We have beautiful mugs at the moment and an orchid puzzle. And if all else fails, just use the super thanks option below my videos. Right, so with that said, let us start. I don't remember the order exactly in which I presented all of these videos, but I'm gonna pop on the screen. You know what? Let's make some room here. I'm gonna leave some room for photos of how these orchids looked like when I received them, just to have a little bit of a comparison. I'm gonna start randomly with this one. This is, oh, by the way, all of these orchids are coming from Look Orchideen in Germany, and they're one of my favorite nursery. They have quite a bit of variety. The shipping is pretty decent. Typically to ship to Cyprus it costs an arm and a leg. For example, to order something from Orchids Deluxe, which it's where I get my sphagnum moss, shipping is 60 to 70 euros. I'm not joking. Perks of living on an island. So when I tell you it's hard to ship to Cyprus, I mean it. I'm lucky nurseries even ship here, to be honest. Anyway, Look is not that expensive, which is great, but they ship with normal post, and sometimes it takes a few weeks, like a few 3-4 weeks. So I try not to order in summertime or in the depths of winter, but other than that, the transport is really nice. Let's get to the updates, right? This is Phalaenopsis Mini Mark crossed with lueddemanniana. I'm not sure if it has a name. I didn't find one just yet. If you have a name, like the registered name, let me know. This orchid has actually bloomed this winter, but the thing is, the mother plant pulled a mini mark, meaning the crown just fizzled out. There is a tiny little leaf that dried there, nothing else, and it created a keiki. It's fine by me. If it doesn't do it a whole lot, it's fine by me. But yeah, mini marks do that. The flowers though were really, really beautiful, and I'll put a picture somewhere on the screen. This one is doing great. The keiki is doing great. But yeah, the mother plant actually, right after I purchased it, I noticed the crown was so-and-so. Something was up with the crown. Just as I was saying in a different video, this is not something new for me. Mini marks do that for me after a number of years. I can have a mini mark bloom several years with the most beautiful flowers you've ever seen, and then 1 year, done. Don't want to be with you anymore. We're gonna die. I don't know why it does that. And I know many of you have gone through it, so it's not just me. It's the thing with the mini mark, maybe? I don't know, but I'm hoping this one will not. So far, so good. The orchid looks very nice right now, the keiki that is, and I'm hoping that it will continue to do well. Overall, I don't regret purchasing it one bit because the flowers are so amazing. They are like a purple version of Mini Mark, which is what I thought it would be and what I wanted, and I got. Right, next up, another orchid that I have here. This is more of a young orchid. Oh, I think this was a gift. Did I receive a gift? I don't remember. Maybe it's a gift. This has a long name. So this is Cattleya, parenthesis, Ruth crossed with Turandot, Pink Panther. Oh, so it's Cattleya Pink Panther crossed with, oh gosh, the name is scratch stuff. You're gonna see it on the screen. Ovation crossed Irene Finney. Okay, so it's a complex hybrid. I actually don't remember purchasing this one, but I think it was a gift, which again, in my over a decade of ordering orchids, it didn't happen often. It happened, like Shredder made me a gift once, like this Cattleya japonica was a bonus orchid, and that's it. It's not a thing nurseries in the EU do. I've seen a lot of nurseries in the US always giving bonus plants, and I think that's really cute. In EU, they don't really do that. But this one, yeah, I think it was a gift because it has like something written on the tag. I think this was the gift. So I don't really remember how this one is supposed to look like, but it has done very, very, very well. It's one of those very I don't know what word to really use. It has a bit of a matte finish, matte leaf. It's not glossy, it's not glaucous. It's nothing of the sorts. It's just a very satisfying, matte, very elegant finish. Cuticle to the leaf. And right now it's working on a new growth. So ever since I purchased it, it matured to this growth. I cannot really remember if it came with the growth or not, or it just grew it here. But it has very sturdy leaves. I think it's gonna be one of those big Cattleyas that produces a big sheath. It looks a lot like the purpurata for now. So this one is mature. I'm hoping this one, oh, it will be bigger because you see the pseudobulb ends here, the previous one. This one will end probably here. So it's gonna be a bigger pseudobulb. It's doing very, very well. It will need repotting, but I'm gonna wait for new roots to grow. I don't wanna set this baby back. This looks like I can set it back dramatically, so I'm not gonna do that. We have roots coming out of the bottom. There are roots. It's doing great. It's just growing out of its pot. So I'm gonna leave it here for a while until I can safely repot it, because I recently did a very stupid mistake with the Dowiana and I think I'm gonna lose it. I thought the roots are gonna grow in the next weeks. Spoilers. No, Dowiana grows roots after the pseudobulb matures. That one in particular. So it's nowhere near. And it's now looking as shriveled as a raisin, and I think I'm gonna lose it. No, I'm never doing that again. So I'm gonna wait for this one, even though it has a ton of roots. No, I'm gonna wait for the new roots. When I see them, that's when it gets repotted. Until then, I'm not touching the Cattleyas. And you know, every few years I do one of these stupidities, and I'm like, I'm never doing this again. And after a few years, I do it again. Yeah, Cattleyas, oh man. Right, next up. Speaking about stupid mistakes, I think I did a bit of a mistake with this one. I read it wrong. So this one is SLC Hazel Boyd Royal Scarlet, AMAOS. It's an awarded orchid. It's a beautiful red color. I think we're gonna be fine with this one. But it was growing out of her pot like really badly, severely. And this is a new growth. And I thought, okay, it's almost ready to put out roots. I can repot it. It was totally out of its pot. It grew very nice, this one. It produced sheaths as well. And I repotted it in this beautiful pot. The new roots, guess what, are not growing when I thought they would grow. But it's not getting dehydrated, it's not getting desiccated. I repotted this one 3 weeks ago or something. It's not shriveling up. And I do see through the pot, I do see roots are okay. They're still okay. It's just, I slowed it down. This new growth, you know, I slowed it down a lot. I just want new roots right now from this orchid. I think we're gonna be fine. But again, stupid mistake. Need to get it in my brain that I need to repot the cat, especially the Cattleyas that I don't know so well. Need to repot them when I see the roots, because you never know. So this one is fine, but I did a mistake. It's vigorous though. It grew very nice before I repotted it, very fast. It grew out of its pot, but I did a boo-boo with it. I mean, you know, stupidity costs, so I'm paying the cost right now. I hope I'm not gonna lose it because it's a beautiful one, but I was majorly stupid in repotting it. Anyway, it happens. Next up, oh, this one is a super vigorous one. I don't have issues repotting this one, but it's not time yet. This is BLC Yuan Beauty variety Hong. I think the variety is mislabeled. It might be variety Rainbow? Maybe, I don't know. It's not the variety that it was in the picture. This one actually bloomed, and it had a beautiful, it bloomed twice actually, and it had a very beautiful flower, but it wasn't the one that was in the picture when I purchased it. And it grows super fast, like lightning fast. It already bloomed twice, and it's already almost maturing a pseudobulb in 1 year. It has 2 directions of growth. So yeah, it bloomed twice. It bloomed once from this direction as well. And it bloomed 3 times. 1, 2 on this direction and another time on this direction. Yes, here. Yeah, so it bloomed 3 times, twice on the same direction. And now it's almost mature again. And probably it's gonna bloom again very soon. It's so vigorous, so beautiful, and I appreciate that it doesn't have a very long rhizome, so it can spend more time in the pot. That's why I repotted this one, because it has a longer rhizome, or it's just, you know, more stretchy. It crawls a little. This one doesn't. I really like this orchid, even though it's not what the listing showed as a picture. It compensates with vigorousness. This will be such a good candidate for a specimen-sized orchid because it's not incredibly big. It's unifoliate, so it's not going to take as much space. The rhizome is small and it grows fast. You can get a specimen out of this one like that. I really like it. I really, really like it. I don't remember if it's fragrant. If it is, it's not something that blew me away. It's fine. Wonderful orchid. Totally recommend if you like the flowers. I'll give it, it's not necessarily the most special thing you've ever seen. The flowers are quite, let's say, pedestrian. Why am I using this word? They're not Francis Fox, but they're really beautiful. They are, and it makes up with the vigorousness. I'm telling you, any orchid that you think looks a little plain, a little boring, if you see it in a specimen size, like a bush with flowers, instantly becomes something you crave. Instantly. I might do a specimen from this one. She's a very good candidate. Love it. Right. Let's start with these orchids. I have a whole lot of them here. So this one. Oh, this one is one that I kind of wanted for a while. Oh no. Okay, the tag is stuck and it's full of roots. It's so full of roots. This is a very flimsy pot, so I can feel all the roots. It did very well. This is C.G. Roebling. I'll just tell you from my memory because I cannot remove the tag. C.G. Roebling Sentinel, I think. She is such a vigorous grower. Now, when I purchased it, it arrived with 2 growths that melted, and I was panicking because once you get this melty new growth, it's not good. Remember I showed you an orchid that I thought was virus? I still think it's virus. This is one of the symptoms, and both growths did this. So this growth and this growth, can we see? This one stopped growing altogether. Even if it's still on the orchid, it's done. The pseudobulb here is mature, but it's underdeveloped. Both of them did this, and I was like, I'm gonna lose the orchid if both growths did this. Well, ever since then, both directions, or actually no, yeah, both of them, they grew new pseudobulbs from these underdeveloped canes. That can happen. The eye has nothing to do with the cane. The cane can be stubby. If the eye is good, it's gonna grow. So on this side as well, we have this growth and another one growing. You cannot see because of the tag. Both growth directions are growing, and I do see other like growths from other eyes growing. She's so vigorous, and look how good it looks. These are the new canes and leaves. Has that matte quality to it that I absolutely adore. Purpurata has it. Purpurata is an orchid that I don't crave enough to buy it for the flowers, even though it has this beautiful texture. The only purpurata that I want is the Carnea version. Not easy to obtain. But I'm not in a rush. I'm not gonna sell my arm right now to make a budget to buy orchids just for her. But it's one of those that it's not easy to find in Europe, or I didn't have a chance. But it has this texture, and C.G. Roebling is actually a hybrid of the purpurata. It might be the I forget. Anyway, it's the blue variety, I think. That's why this one has a blue tint to the lip. Very beautiful. It's doing magically well, even though the beginning was super shaky and I thought it has issues, it's gonna completely rot on me. No, look at it. Look at it. When I repot this one, you know what I'm gonna do, because it's 1 year old. I'm gonna remove this pot because it will need repotting soon. I'm gonna remove this pot, get a bigger pot, and up pot it. I'm not even gonna disturb the roots. No, because this is one of those orchids that you can sit back so badly. You can mess up like nothing else. You know what? I don't want to. This is very good quality moss. Lasts me 4 years on the Phalaenopsis. So I don't care if the plug is moss. It's good quality moss. The bark is what I'm afraid of. But the moss is absolutely fine. So, C.G. Roebling doing fantastic. Spoilers, they're all doing pretty fantastic. But not all of them bloomed. So, This one, oh, see, Roebling didn't bloom yet. This one, I was expecting it to bloom, but it didn't yet. Hopefully on these growths. This is BC Maikai. Oh, the tag is stuck on this one as well because most likely, yeah, we're full of roots as well. Let's try to get you out. Oh, there we go. We're not stuck to the pot. So, full of roots. BC Maikai Louise. Look at her. Look at her, how pretty she is. No blooms yet, and I am very surprised because it's a Brassavola hybrid, but it's fine. Sometimes they take a little while to adjust to a new environment. We have, sorry for the extra noises, we have new growths. The growths that it grew when I received it are a little tinier. She was a little, like, setback is a strong word, but I repotted it. She had to get used to a new environment. It took a little bit of a toll on it, but this is the type of Cattleya that has fast growth. And when I say it doubled in size, I think I'm not far away from the truth. We'll see the footage on the other side of the screen, but I think it kind of doubled in size ever since I got it. Again, we're on the verge of being repotted, but not really. These guys, they're okay. They can sit here for a while because they have short rhizomes. They don't have very big leaves. They're not, you know, very bushy. But this is, again, a very good candidate for a specimen size orchid. And BC Maikai, one of the most beautiful orchids you can have, in my opinion, of course. So the new growth that is growing here, look at it. It's phenomenal, even bifoliate as well. So this is a good indication that we might have some blooms this year, hopefully. Yeah, we have some sheaths in the past that are dry. Maybe something will decide to sprout. I don't know. I hope it blooms this year. We'll see. No blooms yet, but she is very vigorous. And she grew very well so far. Yeah, I did this one. Who's this one? Oh, this. I cannot, none of these are removable, the tags. And this one I can even remove it from the decorative pot. We're gonna let it be here because it's, you know, I don't want to disturb it. So this is Pink Panther, I do believe, which is Maikai crossed with something else. You're gonna have the name on the screen. This one again should be very beautiful. That's why I purchased it. Again, no blooms, but this one was pretty young when I purchased it. It was like this. And these are the latest pseudobulbs, which you can see they're noticeably bigger than the previous growth. So I do believe she was rather young when I first purchased it. Will it bloom this year? I really don't know. I hope so. I'm looking. I don't see, like, this one is already mature. I don't see a bloom here, but it should have faster growth if it's a Brassavola hybrid. Again, very vigorous. No blooms yet, but it's okay. It's the first year. We're gonna see by the end of this year if we're gonna have something. I hope we will. If not, you know, it's fine. It's a Brassavola hybrid. It will bloom eventually. They always do. So this one looks, again, phenomenal, and I hope I don't have to repot it anytime soon. No, I mean, it is like kind of growing outside of the pot, but if you look at the pseudobulbs, they're not outside of the pot. It has very short rhizomes, so we're good with this one as well. Very vigorous. So let's do this one last because it's the tiniest one. It's seedling. This one had a shaky stay. This one is SLC Orquidacea's Primeiro Amor Red Star. This one actually bloomed a few times, but I don't know if it came with them. Probably not. Probably it just got in the way of an ant, which brought some mealybugs on it. We have suffered from mealybugs severely. It bloomed twice ever since I got it, but I never showed it to you because the blooms were so distorted and done. They were eaten by the mealybugs very badly. And you can still see we have some issues with this pseudobulb as well, but we have a sheath, and I'm on top of the mealybugs now, and the ants are almost gone, so I shouldn't have surprise mealybugs on my orchids anymore. Hopefully, this one grows very fast, and it's very, very vigorous actually as well, so I'm hoping we're gonna have some proper blooms this year. It's a red and yellow combination, very, very beautiful, but the blooms were just so distorted that, you know, I didn't show anything to you because there was nothing to show. But it is doing very well. I can actually repot this one pretty soon because it's threatening to grow outside the pot and it has very fast growth. I'm not gonna set back anything. So this one is a good candidate for a repot, and I think I can do it now before I move. But it looks, you know, a little worse for wear because of the mealybugs. 'Tis what it is, but it is a vigorous orchid. And the tiniest of the orchids is this little guy. This is Cycnodes Wine Delight, but it was a seedling. I purchased him as a seedling, and hopefully the new growth will be a little bit bigger. I think the new growth will end somewhere here. So it's gonna be a little bit bigger than this pseudobulb. It arrived am I remembering correctly? It was only one pseudobulb when I bought it, or it was just this pseudobulb and another tiny one, something like that. It's a pretty young seedling. It's not gonna bloom this year for sure. Not sure if it's gonna bloom next year either. Probably in about 2 years it will be blooming size, but it is growing nice, and for the first time in years I managed to keep my Cattleya types pest free. I say this in every video about them. They are pest magnets like you cannot believe. And the problem is, you see, they're deciduous. We don't have leaves from the previous growths because they fall once a year. So if something happens to these leaves in the growing season and the orchid doesn't photosynthesize properly to completely mature this growth, then we're gonna have setback. The plant will not die, but we're gonna be stuck with the tiny pseudobulbs forever. And that happened so much with my Cattleya because I had thrips, what didn't I have? I had mealybugs, of course brought in by the ants, I had spider mites, I had everything on the Cattleya. This year, they look good. I don't see anything on them. But I kept them in a cabinet. I kept them under lock, as it were. But yeah, he's doing well. He's in the middle of his growing season, and I'm hoping this growth will be bigger than the pseudobulb. The pseudobulbs actually thicken up towards the end of the growing season. Right now, it's just a bunch of leaves, and it's a very thin stem, but that's okay. It will thicken up towards the end, actually. And it can get some Cycnodes Wine Delight. It can get super massive. And I had him in the past, in the balcony days. One of the pseudobulbs 1 year was like the trunk of a tree, a tiny tree. It was very, very well developed, but it's gonna take a few years for this one to reach that size. It's okay. I can enjoy the variegated Cycnodes Wine Delight that I have, which is mature, and I'm hoping for a bloom this year. But for season 2, that is it. These are the orchids that I purchased, and these are the updates. Very good updates, as we can see, and as an opinion or a review of the nursery, as I was saying, it's one of my most preferred nurseries. The quality of the plants is very good, as you can see. Just so you know, with any nursery you can always have duds. You can always have things happening on transport, or some orchids that are not maybe all that healthy. First thing you can do if you have a bad experience with any nursery is contact them, show the pictures, tell them what happened, the sooner the better, and see what their refund policy is, or discount, or coupon or voucher for your next purchase, and so on and so forth. They might have something of the sorts, but with a good nursery you shouldn't have issues all of the time. And with Look, so far I did not have issues that weren't necessarily my fault. The worst orchid in this haul was this one, and it's just because most likely some ants got to it and brought some mealybugs, because I had problems with ants. I don't think it necessarily arrived with mealybugs. Even if it did, they're so common you would not believe it. I don't care if plants come with pests from nurseries, because it's too common at this point, but I do believe this one was my fault. Other than that, yeah, I am really pleased with all of the orchids, and soon we will do updates on the other hauls that I made as well. There's the haul from Schroeder, there's the haul from Orchid Garden, and is there another haul from Secret Garden? Maybe, I don't remember. I need to look in the archive. But for today, that is about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed seeing the updates, and I'll share with you again down below the initial video. And with that said, I hope you have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye!